Now, let's go to Melbourne again and catch up with Sky News contributor Michael Kroger, also a former ABC board member, which is the position that I want to talk to use in talking to you, Michael. How are you coping with lockdown so far?
Oh, well, we're used to it now. As we know, it's not the first time and it's not going to be the last time here in Victoria. And so we just come to Sky News, go home, put our feet up and go to the supermarket and go home. And that's what we do, Chris. We go for a walk and go home and watch Sky News. That's it.
Well,
nothing else to do down here, mate.
Well, like a true Melburnian, you love your footy too, and your club Melbourne travelling very nicely at the moment. What do you think about the chief medical officer in Adelaide saying if the ball goes over the fence, don't touch it?
Well, you always get worried by someone that says, look, I've been to the footy a few times, because you think, well, they've got no idea what's going on. That was preposterous. That is utterly ridiculous. I'm a great admirer of Stephen Marshall. If that's the quality of the advice Stephen's getting, then the government there's in trouble. I mean, that was preposterous. Was the ball getting the virus from the players? Well, they can't have the virus because they're tested before the games. Is the ball getting the virus from the post if it hits the post, or from the grass? How is the ball getting the virus to pass on to some poor kid who's 11 years old and catches the football and has it ripped out of his hand or her hand by their mother or father, worried about the kid becoming a super spreader? I mean, what a preposterous remark. It was a completely ignorant contribution to the public debate, and goodness me, if that's the quality of advice, South Australia is in trouble, Chris, I'm afraid.
It's a good demonstration of just how loopy the whole country's become. Now, speaking about a loopy country, I wanted to talk to you about the ABC, because this Christian Porter defamation case and what's gone on there has really raised the issues about journalistic standards at the ABC. We know about their pursuit over many years of George Pell, an innocent man. He had to go through hell before he was acquitted by the High Court. We've got a similar campaign that the ABC's waged against Christian Porter. And this is after they played a role in killing off our live cattle export industry, killing off the greyhounds industry. They run constant propaganda on climate change. Can they ever, as a board member, is it possible to bring in proper standards at the ABC?
No, I'm afraid it's not. And I was there for 5 years and there were coalition appointments on their board. The board, can influence the managing director, but it's like a pyramid. The board's at the top, but you can't get down 7 or 8 rungs down the ladder to get to the people who are the culprits. And basically what you've now got under Ita, and Ita should resign. I mean, Ita's been a terrible failure, and I know there are many people in the coalition, including people in the cabinet, who regret her appointment. She and some of those board members should go. She's lost control of the board have lost control of the managing director has certainly lost control of news and current affairs, and the ABC staff are more powerful than ever. They have weaponised Four Corners, Q&A in particular, which is like acid. It's political acid in the face of the Liberal Party, that Q&A, and the National Party. It's a shockingly biased program. The Drum, these current affairs programs are just weaponised against the coalition. I mean, Four Corners had evidence of behaviour of a senior federal Labor frontbencher, which they have not put to air. They've got a lot of evidence against this senior Labor frontbencher. That has not been put to air. Now, they give the usual reasons, I gather, on the grapevine that, there wasn't quite enough. Well, there actually wasn't enough against Christian Porter. As they admitted the other day when they settled, and I take a view that Porter did exceptionally well in this litigation, exceptionally well, because the ABC had to admit they would never be able to prove this beyond reasonable doubt, and not able to prove it even on the balance of probabilities. And that is a very significant win for Porter.
It was disgusting stuff to put into the public arena.
Now, but just look, to clarify, to blame Chris for appointing Buttrose in the first place?
Well, this is what I want to clarify with you. As you say, you were a board member for 5 years. Obviously, you're a supporter of the Morrison government. Scott Morrison appointed Ita Buttrose, but you are clearly saying that she's a failure and should resign.
She's a failure, should resign. You can't get everything right in life. Morrison's got pretty well everything else right, but this was a bad appointment by the coalition cabinet. She's been a hopeless failure, and she should resign. She's lost control of the ABC. It's more biased against the coalition than I've ever seen it. It's worse than I've ever seen, and she seems to have no influence at all. This is like a train that's got no driver. I don't know why Ita stays. She should admit that she's... and the ABC's in breach of the Act. It's not balanced, it's not impartial, it's not unbiased. It doesn't present news and current affairs in a fair and balanced way. Anyone that thinks it does is on another planet. And so I should admit, look, the ABC has lost. We've lost control of our responsibilities in terms of making sure that the Act was implemented, abided by. It doesn't abide by the Act. The board are responsible for making sure the ABC organisation abides by the ABC Act. It doesn't do that. Buttrose should go. She should go and go quickly.
Good to talk to you, Michael. Next time I get you on the show, I'd be pleased if you told me what you really thought. Go well.
Yeah, well, someone needs to say this, Chris. Because
they sure do. Thank you very much. Michael Kroger there, former ABC board member with a very, very damning indictment of the current ABC chair, a coalition Scott Morrison appointment, Ita Buttrose.